my stories are good. What do you mean? I don't know. You got to judge that. You might not think it's good.
What do you miss most about not coaching any longer at the Boilermakers? Because you are certainly a legend and put them on the map.
I think association with the players, teaching them practice every day and doing those things I enjoyed the most. Looking forward to going to work every day because I never had a job. I didn't look forward to going to work every day. So I miss the players and being around them and my assistant coaches.
I guess I'm supposed to go next, and since we're in Brad Miller country, I thought maybe I'd ask you to tell us a good story about Brad Miller.
I can. It's not credible.
A story about Brad Miller.
Okay, Brad was one of those unusual players that when you taught him like a play or a trap, he knew exactly what to do next. He was a very, very good student of the game, listened, and I always loved working with him. He and Johnny Camp were the two most famous people from Kendallville, right? And they were both very good friends of mine, and one of them was a student. So Brad was a very easy student because he learned quickly. He could put a play in, he had it. Go a high-low post, he had it. Go a trap on defense, he had it. Do a special play for the last second shot, he had it. So he was easy to coach.
Is there any way you could hold this microphone too?
For $100. Here, who? Somebody take this. Who got this?
Mike, you want him?
Sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. Go.
What was your reaction to being named to the College Basketball Hall of Fame earlier this month, and what does that award mean to you?
Well, it meant a lot of people helped me. All the people around me were very instrumental in that. My families, the assistant coaches, have like 8 guys now are Division I coaches. They were all very special in all of this, and without them, of course, I wouldn't have done it. And the players, and then the people that helped me at Purdue, the secretaries and the weight coaches and the trainers. So it had a lot to do with the people around me. I always cherished my relationship with my staff.
Coach, there was some talk about the decrease in quality of play in the NCAA tournament and college basketball in general this season. Has the quality of play gone down, in your opinion?
Who did that, Vitale?
I think it was Mike Greenberg on ESPN.
He's full of it. Did Mike ever play? I don't think so. He was a Northwestern student that booed me. He did. He sat up in the crowd and booed when he was there. So, no, I don't think so. I think the players are better now. The one thing that I'm not really high on is the AAU fact that you can lose 3 games in a row and you don't have to go home and work on fundamentals. That's my only disagreement I have with AAU. If you lose 3 games, you should go home and work on fundamentals for a week and get better. That's the only thing I would say that they need to work on. The players have to learn how to do the fundamentals correctly, and basketball is a game of habit, and you got to do it over and over and over, just like a golf. Golf is muscle memory, so you have to be able to execute passing and rebounding and dribbling and getting down in a stance and those sort of things. And that doesn't happen overnight. You have to execute it with a lot of practice.
Coach, with 3 players recently transferring from Purdue, how do you view that situation, and what advice would you have for current coach, Painter?
Well, maybe he wanted to transfer. Maybe they weren't good enough. I don't know the circumstances, so I can't say much about it. So I would hate to say they left the program because they were going to play a lot, you know. So it's one of those things where don't know what the circumstances was, can't criticize it. I love Matt Painter. He's one of my favorite players at Purdue, and he's been a great coach there. So I don't understand what's going on there because I don't know what they were thinking and why they were transferring.
Coach, there was a lot of talk during the tournament as well about the fact that maybe the game had gotten too physical and that the officials maybe needed to call games tighter. I mean, did you see any evidence of that at all in the tournament or not?
You know, anytime a game, when I was coaching, the referees were always bad. But really, the referees that I work now are very good friends of mine. They're all very friendly at all the timeouts. It's like, hey, you're so nice to 11, you weren't that way towards me. What's wrong with you guys? I said, well, we really liked you, but we didn't want to act like it. So it's one of those things where the referees have been special people to me all my life. But no, I don't see any difference.
Coach, we talked about Kendallville native Brad Miller. Are you surprised at all the level of success he's had in the NBA?
I was surprised that he wasn't drafted sooner. You know, I thought that he should have been drafted his first year out of Purdue. I think there were some people that kind of blackballed him, but I don't know who they were, but they evidently kept him down. Then once he got the USA team experience and went overseas a little bit, he got everybody's attention and came back and proved what he really could do. So it did surprise me when he played in the NBA. I thought he was always good enough too.
Coach, you've done everything. You had coached with Toronto. You were the with USA team. You won a gold medal. How was that like representing the United States in the World Games?
Well, I think that a fact when you walk into the opening ceremonies at the Olympics, there's not a greater thrill, not a greater experience than that. That was tremendous and something I'll always cherish. Getting the gold medal was special, and it all came together. We had really good coaches. Rudy Tomjanovich was the head coach, and Larry Brown and Tubby Smith and I were the assistants. So that was special, and the players were all special. So that was a tremendous experience that I'll never forget.
What do you like about continuing to coach now as an assistant, and how long do you think you'll do that?
Until my wife tells me to stop. I think that what I like about it is, like I said a while ago, teaching and being around the players, trying to help them get better, try to get the coaches to see what it takes to win and that sort of thing. So that part I've always enjoyed. It's just a tremendous game. It's been good to me all these years. I've coached 55 years, so it's one of those things where you try to get better. You try to learn from everybody else. I stole a lot of plays from other coaches and defenses and all that. So you don't do this game by yourself.
What do you see as the biggest difference between your area your era at Purdue as opposed to the era that's going on now?
The parents. I think the kids are about the same, but the parents don't raise the children like I'd like for them to. But that's not my business. I think they need to teach them how to listen better and how to respect other people and that sort of thing. That's the only thing I think has changed. I think the kids are the same. They're tremendous. So parents are different, and I think just because you play in the Big Ten doesn't mean you're an NBA player. So 1% of the seniors get to be NBA players. So that's something you have to kind of look at as far as a percentage.
If I can just follow that up, Coach, what about all the underclassmen who come out for the draft?
I don't like it. I wish they'd change it like football and baseball have it, where you have to stay to your junior year. I think it just hurts the game. It hurts the kids from getting better. They don't learn how to manage their money when they're young, and they have a lot of things to do to get better. So I just don't like it. I wish that we could smarten up and get the commissioner to somehow get that pushed through where they had to stay to their juniors.
You talked about basketball, but you were drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Did you ever consider football coaching when you first came out of college?
Yeah, but nobody to hire me. When I came back to the Steelers, the only job opens up in northern Kansas at Beloit, Kansas, and the main part of the job was basketball coach, so I did it because I love basketball and had a great teacher at K-State, Tex Winter. And I helped in football as assistant football coach. I was assistant track coach until 4 o'clock, and then I went out to the golf team at 4 and coached the golf team. So, and I knew nothing about golf, believe me. It was one of those things where I had to read books and become better, just experiment and going through the experience and that sort of thing. So, I coached football as a head coach 1 year at Beloit, and we went, I think it was like 5-5 or something. So it was a good experience being a head coach of football. Then I went to Hutch. I was a defensive back coach. So I just loved all the sports. Kept me out of trouble.
Coach, any advice you'd give to young athletes today, like in junior high, high school?
Sure. Read a lot. Understand that your education is the most important aspect of your life. Without a degree, you're not going anywhere, because not very many guys become professional athletes. So get your degree and love to read.
Thank you.
You gave my whole speech away. Now I don't have to talk. See you.
Thanks.
My pleasure.